welcome to the Billowing Hilltop podcast. I'm here with Alex. Hello, Alex.
Hello.
Alex is that rarest of things, a reader, who's joining me here in the command pod. Don't touch that. Don't touch that. All right. Take a spot, take a seat anywhere. Thanks for coming to the command pod. As we get closer and closer to episode 100, I don't know why, we just felt that we ought to speak to somebody who listens to us. So you have been chosen.
Thank you very much. It's a pleasure to be here, if not slightly surreal.
It is a little odd. Try not to look out of the window too much. It'll make you feel maybe slightly nauseous. Mm-hmm. But that's just because there's a bit of pall floating out there. Do you have any... I don't know what to say. Have you got any... I don't know. Have you got any questions?
Did you ever do a podcast that was not from a kind of set module, or would you?
No, we've never... Oh, would we? Would we? Yeah, I think we might. To be honest, we sort of stumbled into this. We tend to rotate the GM job between us. Mm-hmm. And I think it was just coming up to the time that I was going to run something, and I was digging around for something to run, and then coincidentally we talked about trying to record something and see what it would be like. So there's no planning involved. If we carried on, yes, I guess so. I mean, there's an awful lot of work involved in keeping these things together, though.
Is it?
That's the only thing
you guys strike me as people that would be able to improvise pretty good on the fly.
I think in terms of the play, it would be fine. It's just that the adventure that we did, somebody would probably have to sort of sketch something out. So the work involved in prepping that adventure and sort of trying to hit that regular weekly spot, that's the thing that's difficult. And getting people's calendars together and stuff.
Well, so I got to say, I felt a little bit tricked because I saw you on Twitter, I think, from something got reposted. And I think the first time I got involved with you was when I saw a picture of all these old dudes together in a kind of a garage. And I was like, wow, look at these guys. They're still doing it. I was like, that's amazing. Yeah. But then I
not doing it that way.
No, I heard you're not all meeting together, which kind of...
So that's worked. Yes, of course.
Yes, the live works. Well, that hooked me.
We do meet up, certainly twice a year, for kind of a festival of games, D&D, whatever, all sorts of things. We used to meet up face-to-face regularly. For a long time now, we've pretty much played online. And what we try and do, surely people have seen through this by now, we try and give the atmosphere of people sitting around a table together, but even though actually we're not.
Well, that works. That completely works, because I didn't realise until, like, I don't know where it was you mentioned it, but it was quite late on in the episodes where you mentioned that, and then I was like, oh wow, they're not all sat round together. Yeah.
We have been playing as a group for so long that I think some of that online chat awkwardness, all the pauses and stuff, we don't tend to get too much of that because we've all been playing D&D for so long. So I think maybe that helps to give the impression that we're all sort of,
I don't know about that because I never played online. I've only played in person. I'm a bit reticent, really. Don't know
what about playing online?
Yeah. Part of the joy for me is that it's getting around together on the table. I mean, obviously, I can hear you guys
on the table.
Yeah. You're having loads of fun, and it's clearly working. But I don't know. I'm just a bit.
Yeah, no, I completely understand. So a couple of the members of the Hilltop, elders of the Hilltop, don't participate in the show, and that's basically because they're not really so keen on playing in an online game. Joss and Nico, hello, Joss and Nico. We've reached that point in our lives where scheduling meeting up face to face really becomes quite difficult, and we just found that using an online platform meant that at least we were playing, even if it wasn't optimal. What else would you like to know? You don't have to want to know anything.
How cantankerous is Uncle Buggie in real life?
Johnny, he's a complete nightmare. We edit out the worst bits. He effectively lives his bitter, misanthropic life through his character creations, which are pretty much always sorcerers, and then occasionally he'll run a split class with a cleric in there somewhere. So a barbarian cleric is his sort of other default option, just so that he doesn't have to rely on anybody else for healing. And he's also, he feels he has the sort of curse of the failed saving throw on him. Like he fell into the cauldron of failed saving throws when he was a baby or something. And he's absolutely certain every time he rolls a dice for a saving throw that he's going to fail.
He does like to roll out the dice, doesn't he? Quite a lot.
He does. He likes to. He does. He's got this. He also feels that the numbers have all been worked out in advance and they're all queuing up. Also, he's been playing for a very long time, as he will tell you. And old D&D was much more lethal, and if the things that happened to your character didn't kill your character, they were what were called save or suck. You would fail a saving throw, and you'd be turned to stone or paralysed or something. You might schlep to somebody's house to play D&D for an afternoon, fail a saving throw in the first 10 minutes, and then just sit there for the rest of the afternoon while everybody else enjoyed themselves. And that would happen to Johnny an awful lot.
D&D was the first role-play game I played.
Right.
When I grew up, the majority I played was actually Warhammer, the role-play game. Fantastic system, really brilliant system, and I played with my cousins, and my cousin, he was a masterful DM.
I don't like the sound of your cousin very much.
No, he's a scary guy, and huge as well. So
Actually, the more you talk about it, the more I've
double
come to
threat.
admire him. Just don't tell him where I live. You know.
He'll find you.
We played Warhammer Fantasy Roleplay a lot when it first came out at the end of the 80s. We played it at a time where we were also looking at lots of other games, and it was all about what would stick. We always played Shadowrun a lot.
Got that? Yep.
We played whatever edition of D&D was out at the time, second, I think, mostly.
Yeah, that's what I.
It was
that's
just a
what
question
I
of
had.
getting things to stick.
Yeah.
Yeah. Johnny's house was like the default venue for our D&D games when we were younger. Basically because he didn't want to have to travel a long way in order to fail that saving throw in the first 10 minutes. He'd rather fail that saving throw at home and then he could go and do whatever he did while we carried on playing. I'm pretty certain that's what it was. You want to know anything else about any of the other players? No. They're hardly worth thinking, you know.
Well, I had a soft spot for, and still do, for Burple, but Uncle
Burple Herpish.
Yes, but Uncle Buggie's just kind of he's just kind of pipped him.
Yeah.
I'm sorry to say that he's become a bit of a kind of national hero.
We get emails about Uncle Buggy. Anyway,
that being said, I would actually also like to see Uncle Buggy like explode in a fireball or something. That would be pretty cool. So I'd like to,
wouldn't we ever?
It's all about crushed dreams, isn't it?
I can separately DM you my bank details if you like, and we could come to an arrangement.
Fine.
I could make that happen for you. Yeah. Now, where are you up to? Are you reading every week?
Yes, unfortunately, I have a very long commute, and I listen to it a lot. Yeah, I think
I can kind of hear the trauma, I have to say.
Yeah, it's a lot.
But you're up to date.
I'm up
so
to
where
date.
Are you up to? I don't even.
What's happening? Phase spiders.
Oh yeah.
That's where we're
In
at.
the shadow world,
Yes,
all of that stuff.
Yes.
Oh yes.
Yeah, lovely stuff.
We are recording the intro. We're recording an intro, by the way, Alex, just in case that wasn't made clear to you, to episode 96. How about that? Which is about 3 or 4 episodes in the future. Hence, while we're in the command pod, we're here now, but we're talking about an episode that has already happened, but hasn't yet happened. But actually, we're recording an intro for an episode that also hasn't yet happened.
Gotcha.
So there we are. And we use the command pod to surf across the line between the past and the present and the future, hence that slight feeling of queasiness. So you play D&D, you played Warhammer Fantasy Roleplay.
Yep.
Do you play currently?
I'm at a school at the moment, which is a kind of like special needs and behavioural school, and I play D&D with the kids there. And
excellent.
Some of these young people, they kind of like struggle to kind of stay in class and whatnot, but they'll happily sit down and do like 3 hours of D&D, and they love it. They draw pictures, they write about it, and these young people are absolutely amazing, and their ideas are incredible, and they're funny, and the involvement from them is just it's just fantastic, and it's a kind of like a really useful tool for the school, really, because they get to kind of have this safe space to play imaginative games, and there's a real mix of issues that these young people have, but they love it, and it's I'm getting a real kick out of that. So happiness.
Anecdotally, it seems to be that role-playing games kind of are a force for good for all sorts of people in all sorts of parts of life.
Well, I mean, I'm seeing that firsthand, and it totally is. And I mean, I had it firsthand. Like I said, I played with my cousins, and without getting too cheesy about it, it really kind of like brought me closer together with my cousins.
Bring the cheese. Paul's leaning forward in his chair as we speak.
Okay, here comes the cheese. It brought me closer together with my cousins, and I bonded with them more because of it.
That really was quite juicy.
Yeah.
Any other questions? Anything else you want to know? Do you want to say anything? Have you got anything? Have you got a message for our players or anything?
That's a big question. No.
Excellent.
I don't think.
Well, in that case, thank you very much for dropping into the command pod to say hello. As always, dear readers, you can find us on social media. You can find us on Twitter at Bellowing Hilltote. You can find us on Facebook. And you can, of course, email us at hello@billowinghilltop.com, and we will try and find something positive to do with your message. I have no other news or information for you, so let us push on with episode 96. Thanks, Alex.
Thank you.
Episode 96 of the Billowing Hilltop podcast. Up jump the buggy.
Excellent.
We don't need to fight it.
Well, that'd be an idea,
yeah.
I've burnt my 5th levels.
How are we going to get the keel fit?
Run up to it. Have you got some kind of hold monster?
No.
Well, I don't mind trying.
I'll just try and grab it. Jump up and grab it.
It only does... The nasty beam is only really nasty if other people are attacking it, doing damage to it. I like the fairy fire. That's very nice.
It's great for Alessandra.
Yeah, it just adds the...
Good evening, everybody.
Good evening, good evening, good evening.
Good evening, everyone. I'm here with Dan and Graham. Johnny.
Actually, I'm not here.
What remains of Paul?
I'm not here either.
More of Paul has been removed.
No.
Since we last spoke.
No, I'm still...
I'm stacking them in the cupboard where we used to keep Burple's... Well, sorry, I've had to move some of it out. Burple's secret backstory, Dan.
Oh. Well, stick it in the bin. It's fine with all my other stuff.
It's that thing in the fridge with the label on it. Don't touch that.
Okay.
I've got an interview with one of Paul's removed parts in one of our intros coming up soon.
Have you?
Should be fun. Yeah.
You never
It
told
must
me
be a
that.
bit awkward.
Some
We keep him in the corner.
shocking revelations coming to a podcast. World's 9th best podcast. And also we're joined by Dr. Eusebio Spider Lucas, talking of which the spider is back. Our heroes are battling the giant ooze monster in the scary gallery room but where are we? In some weird bit of the Whispering Cairn that they've accessed through some strange interdimensional gate, a gate that Burple could see but the others could not. As Burple passed through it, he had a vision of a river of blood flowing into the dark that he felt compelled to throw himself into and follow the current of. They found a river of blood, or at least a river of red water further down, but they've kind of left that to one side. They've also found Hesti Testapod floating in a globe. It's all a bit weird, this whole thing, isn't it? But they've returned to the upper levels to take on the ooze, and now they've been attacked by their friend, the weird spider, that scuttled out of a little funnel of shadow darkness and rushed up to Alessandra and Buggie, and that is where we left things. Is that fair enough?
Yep.
We're going to start with the spider. Let's put it on the map. Seems reasonable. It's going to attack Alessandra.
Oh,
It's nice and simple.
you little bastard.
Doesn't really have a decision to make.
Yep.
First attack is with the bite.
Yep.
Rolling
Hitting.
a 19, hitting armor class 26.
Yeah,
with
it
the
hits.
bite.
Yeah.
Can you make a Constitution save? This is a poison-based effect, if that's relevant to you.
Making a 19.
You're fine, but you take 10 points of piercing damage, and then it attacks you with its horrible prongs. First prong attack hits armor class, not enough, with a 2. Second attack hits armor class, it's a 15, hits armor class 22. Another 5 points of piercing damage.
Cool.
That is it for the spider. Now the ooze. The ooze can't reach anybody apart from Parker, so it's going to attack Parker. 2 pseudopods on Parker. First pseudopod, its armor class 14, not going to be enough. Second pseudopod, its armor class 18, not going to be enough, Parker, right?
No.
That's it for the
Lovely.
great big horrible monster, and we move on to Uncle Buggy on 4.
I am doing a protection from poison on myself.
Yep, you've inadvertently found yourself at the front.
Yes, it's all planned, you see. I'm no coward. I do a
No coward. What's he got to do with it?
and then I'm going to start raging as a bonus action.
Yes.
And then
Okay.
can I move up to it? Where's the key on it?
The key is hanging from a little silver chain around the gap between its head and its thorax.
Can
I mean, it's
I
not like a
grab
super
it?
accessible place.
Can I try and grab it?
What do you want to do? Step up inside its space, as it were. As a halfling, you can do that.
Yeah,
It's a large creature, but you can jump. That's also true, correct?
it is, but I haven't activated the ring. Well, I might rethink that depending on if you could. I might not rage.
You think that you
and
need to be able to jump
requiring
up to...
a jump, then I probably won't do the.
Well, you're only 3.5 foot tall, is that right?
Yep. So how high?
You think you'd need to... You think that reaching the key up there, this thing is rearing. It's a large creature.
Is it an interact with an object type of grab as part of a move, or is it?
To be honest, I hadn't looked that far ahead. There's going to be some
Or
kind
is
of
it
roll. Probably some sort of attack roll, I would say.
Okay, so it's an action, basically.
Oh, 100%. Put it this way. Let's flip it round. If I had a creature run up to you and decided to take... Right, there would be... We'd have an all sorts
well
of...
then I
argument about
can't do that. I'm just going to... Bonus action, going to rage, and then I've done the protection from poison, and that's it.
That's it. Okay, excellent. And nothing else, definitely? Sessions on 16.
I'm going to step 5 foot to the east. I'm going to...
Towards it.
Towards
Yep.
the spider, yep.
Mm-hmm.
Which I think brings part of it within the Spirit Guardians.
Yes.
I will, as my action, I will cast Tumbling Dice, Toll the Dead on it. So,
Wisdom save.
Yep.
DC.
16.
Oh, it's not got great wisdom save. It gets 16 though.
Okay, so it's save, so we don't need to worry about whether it's wounded or not, because nothing happens. And as my bonus action, I don't think I can see the ooze.
No,
I
you
will
can't.
pull the crushing coin towards me. 5, 10, 15, 20.
Understood.
And that's my go. All done.
Definitely.
Definitely, yep.
On 13, it's burbledy herbledy her.
Purpledy Herbledy Her will
Yes.
require a wisdom save, DC 15 from the Spidly Spadly Spoo. Please.
Can't take this thing seriously. What, like that? Is that the sort of thing you're talking about?
Oh,
Just that natural 20?
No,
just
I was
the-
expecting a really crappy roll.
Blue
But anyway,
dice.
it still
Blue
takes some damage. It
dice
still
or
takes
save.
Oh, God. What's
12.
quantity of
Oh,
dice?
look, I've got 2 2s and a 3. Well, I'm going to
Mhm.
use the Empower to re-roll
Mhm.
the 2 2s and the 3.
Okay. Yep.
So 15 plus 3d6. Yeah?
Yes. Oh!
Another 11.
So that's 21, 25,
26.
26 points of damage. What kind of damage?
Psychic.
Let me just check on something. As you know, Spidey Woo has many, many magic powers.
Not in this realm, it doesn't.
Well, we'll get into that.
Oh,
Certainly, it
God.
seems to have more magic powers in its realm than it does elsewhere, but you do some damage on it. Does it have to run away or anything?
No, because it made its saving throw.
Anything else from Burbledy Herbledy Who? Is that where you're going to stand?
I'm going to stand about 5 foot further away.
Okay,
yeah.
just going to back up a bit. Back me up on this. Parker on 11.
Well, I guess
Back
I'll,
in the silent gallery with the ooze.
I guess I'll continue zapping the ooze.
Mm-hmm.
Fairy fire is still going, right?
Yeah, okay.
That would be a hit for 5 points, a hit for 7, and another 7, and 5.
Yeah, okay.
And
Well, I mean,
then
it's looking,
one more D10,
Oh.
just to knock it in there for 8 points.
well, I mean, you think
That's
it's looking a little bit
14,
damaged,
24,
Parker.
32 in total.
Sandy, on 10.
Sandy on 10 is going to do a longbow attack on the spider.
Okay, at disadvantage.
My disadvantage.
Aren't you using a longbow?
Cross. I have. You bugger. At disadvantage.
You think you know
Okay.
someone.
So the first one
Well, his
is
best man at his wedding,
Didn't,
right?
didn't he come to your wedding, Mike?
armor
It-
class 19 and armor class 21. Armor class 19.
That might be a hit. I'm just going. Oh no, it's a miss. How very pleasing.
All right
You
then.
miss the creature.
Alessandra's going to move back 15 feet
Mhm.
next to Purple.
It's going to get an attack opportunity.
No,
on
it's
you.
not.
Oh, because of your magic whatsits.
How very satisfying because of
They were
Mobile.
satisfying. Right, that's it. It's the spider and the ooze. Let's do the ooze first.
The spider and the ooze. It sounds like a
The
kid's
spider
story.
and the ooze.
Alan the
Yeah,
Pussycat.
Mrs. Parker with the first attack. It's missed Parker. I'm going to make that saving throw. It's just, you never know. That's not going to be enough against your synaptic static anyway, Bonds, right?
No, it's 15.
Back to the spider. The spider is starting its round inside the Spirit Guardians, Graham.
Correct.
It rolls a 10. Not enough. How much damage is that?
19 points of radiant damage, sir. Radiant.
Radiant, sir.
Radiant, sir.
Oh. Oh. Okay, fine. It attacks Uncle Buggy, who is the nearest person to it, because Uncle Buggy, as always, is at the front, attacking with the bite, hitting armor class 20E. 20E.
Yes.
Tell me about your poison resistance.
I have an advantage on saves and I have resistance.
The resistance means you only take half damage from poison.
Yep.
Okay, well, then make the save at advantage. You're going to make this because you've got the orc dice to all these. Yeah,
19.
make it. Fine. You take half off, therefore, because of your rage, 9. So you take 4 points of piercing damage, and then it attacks you twice with its pincers. First attack. It misses. Second attack with a 9, and it misses with a 4. That is it for the spider. And we move on to Uncle Buggy on 4.
I've slightly cocked up a bit. The ring of jumping, it says...
Brilliant.
Not for months. Please don't tell me for months that you've cocked up.
No, I don't know, because I usually activate the ring
Nico,
jumping
not a
before I
Nico
start
Vaughan
raging.
missing final paragraph. Okay.
No, I usually activate the ring of jumping before I start raging. But this it says, while you're wearing the ring, you can cast the jump spell from it as a bonus action at will.
Right.
While I'm raging, I can't cast spells.
So when you're raging, you can't jump with your magic jump thing. Is that what we're really saying?
Yeah, I mean, it says at will. I'm grasping at straws here. I can cast.
Got it. Fine. Well, let's not worry about it.
Can I jump up anyway? I mean, normal jump.
What's your jump?
I think it's 3 times.
Your strength bonus or something like that.
I hate the jumping rules. I mean, I don't hate them. I
hate
don't know
them as
them.
well.
I suppose I fear what I don't understand. Like,
It's 3
Savage
times
life.
your strength.
Strength bonus.
Surely.
No, 3 times your strength.
So your strength is?
No, it doesn't make sense.
No. You'd be jumping like 50 feet in the air.
Horizontal jump, 3 times strength equals 38. Why have I put that? Oh, it's 3 plus your strength modifier.
How do you multiply something by 3 and get
triples you.
38?
Without a 10-foot run up, I can jump 3 feet.
3 feet.
Where did you get that one from, John?
Awesome.
It's 3 plus your strength modifier, so that's 6 feet. Half of that without a 10-foot run up. So
Yeah, okay.
I'm not just bashing it. Otherwise, it's just going to disappear again, isn't it? Once it gets low in the hit points.
Yeah.
You're holding your flame tongue sword.
It's
a
dangling
great
on a
sword, right?
chain, is it? Can I swipe
I
it?
mean, I think we've established it's not a great sword, but
No.
in both hands, you're holding the sword, right? I don't know that you can't reach it with a 6-foot jump. If you can jump 3 feet, then you can reach up to about 6 or 7 feet up in the air if you're 3.5 foot tall. As a generality, I like the idea that you can do stuff that you try and do.
So if you're 3.5 foot tall, you must be close to 4.5 foot with your hands in the air.
Right, jump 3 feet, and he's going to be jumping 6 or
7.5.
7 feet. This thing is 10 feet across. So I suspect that if you can jump 6 or 7 feet in the air, you've got a shot at grabbing this key, or at least of snagging it. You don't know if the chain will break. It could be mithril or something, whatever. You just don't
Okay,
know.
well,
But
I'll
you
give it a jump
You
then.
can have
if
a
I
go
don't-
at it. This thing is rearing over you, this giant arachnid creature. You're going to jump for its thorax and try and grab at the key. Simple.
Yeah,
You can move freely into the squares of creatures that are of a larger size than you.
yeah.
I think it's either got to be... I'm tempted to make it a strength, or I don't know what... I mean, I'll take any
Athletics.
suggestions that anybody makes.
Athletics.
Or it's sleight of hand, I'm thinking.
I would think sleight of hand might be a good.
You're either going to try and use brute force, jump up, snap the key off the chain. Oddly, actually, I think I've talked myself out of sleight of hand. I can't see how you're going to undo anything, right? You're not going
Unless
to...
you try and lift it off its head.
I think this thing's head is a kind of great big globular thing, festooned with eyes and mandibles and squiggly parts.
How did they get the chain on in the first place then? Is there some
Well,
kind
I mean,
of contraption?
No, it's... God, the whole thing's fallen apart, Paul.
I mean,
Don't ask difficult questions.
I think it's an athletics check.
Yeah, so I get +3 on athletics checks.
I've got a DC in mind.
Johnny, just use your Ort dice anyway.
always got your
you
old
have
dice.
advantage on strength checks and strength saving throws
When you're raging.
when I'm raging. So
Okay, so
that's
you've got
actually
advantage.
better than athletics.
Yeah.
Okay, so
Well, I mean, a strength checks and athletics checks are the same
Same,
thing.
yep,
It's
so-
strength brackets athletics.
that's
Yeah.
+3 at advantage. 3, 8.
Ooh.
Second one is
8 is not enough.
Oh, fuck.
You could, Johnny,
Uh,
use your Ort dice,
You only get to re-roll once. You don't get to re-roll both dice,
but you get to add a d6 on top.
but you get to add a d6. What do you want to do?
I'll do that. Hang on, I'm just going to roll the dice a few times to get a few crap dice rolls out. Hang on.
Okay, there we go.
That was good.
That was
2,
crap.
nice.
Oh,
well
one.
done, that was
Okay,
crap.
all right, well, I'm ready now.
Okay.
Okay, here we
This
go.
is the Urt dice.
The Urt dice, yes.
You get to add a D6.
Oh my
Okay. No,
Dear
No,
me.
no,
Yes.
no one
This
ever
is-
I
rolls
was going
that.
to roll a different one.
Ort does not answer your call. You've not reached the threshold that I had in mind.
No,
So
it's
you
rubbish
very
dice,
bravely, for once, scuttle within the legs of this thing, leap up, try and grab the key, fail. I'm going to say that you're within its reach now.
Yeah.
But, okay, fine. Anything else?
I'll click my heels together, which activates my speed, boosts the
There's
speed.
no place like home.
That's a bonus action or something, is it?
Yep.
Okay, top of the round. Round 5, I think. A session's on 16.
Your time to jump up, even though you're a bit portly.
Yeah.
You've seen it attempted.
And he says, yeah, he means no.
It's the strength bit, it's a bit terrifying given that
I
I
can hold
have.
the stool for you. Your stool.
Ugh.
Ooh. I don't think he's going to be exerting himself that
Oh,
much.
I know he's
Yeah.
been eating sausages, but
Given that I'm flying, I don't really worry about getting up. It's the strength bit that's a bit worrying.
Mm-hmm.
Maintaining it, isn't it?
Yeah, and we can't use sleight of hand.
To use sleight of hand, to steal a key off a necklace, you would need to undo the necklace.
Yeah,
That's a hand job.
that's a hand job, isn't it? It's not.
Yeah.
I don't know that is logical in this instance. When it can see you and
Yeah.
doesn't want you
Okay.
to do it, I think,
Okay, so I am going to do tumbling dice on it again.
wisdom save.
Yeah.
Getting a 13.
That's not enough then. It's wounded, yeah.
It is.
18 points of radiance. 18.
Oh,
And as my bonus action, I crash the crushing coin into it.
Not
Yep.
sure we want to scare it off, though.
well,
Hitting armor class 20
is a miss.
is a miss.
20 is
Is
a
a
miss.
miss.
Is it? It's not fairy fired. Something's fairy fired. No?
No, the ooze.
The ooze.
The ooze is fairy fired.
The ooze is fairy. Well, the 20's a miss then, I think.
20's a miss. I think we've established with extended precedent that this thing's armor class is 21.
Well, felt very exciting. And that's kind of...
That's it?
My 5-foot step backwards is blocked by Sandy and Burple, so I'll stay where I am.
Right.
Actually, you know what?
Oh.
Yes, I will.
Mhm.
I'll stay where I am.
Burpledy herpledy hoop. It is your turn. There's a gang of you crushed up on this ramp, looking down at this giant spider. It looks a bit beaten up by what you've done so far,
Does it?
but it doesn't look like things are precarious for it.
Well, I'm going to move up and hit it.
Okay.
It's totally crazy, but I'm that kind of guy. I will miss it with the following number.
Yeah, roll your miss.
Ooh,
It's a
Hello.
25.
There's a hit. What are you hitting it with?
I'm hitting it with the +2 Sword of Zosiel.
Oh, wow. You could not hit it with a more appropriate or attractive weapon.
7 plus, hang on, because I'm going to use a point of my bardic inspiration
Mm-hmm.
to do an additional 5d6.
Oh, nice, nice.
Wow. Okay.
Ooh.
So another 20, so that's 27 points de damage sur la
Blimey.
tête de la monstre
Sur la tête de la monstre avec le +2 sword
de Zosiel.
de ce ciel. And we move on to Parker, if it is a real Parker, on 11.
Right, so I need a ruling.
Oh,
Can
no.
I...
There's been altogether too many rulings
Yes.
this evening.
Basically, at the moment, I'm attuned to my flame tongue sword and not the quarterstaff.
Right.
So therefore, that does slashing damage. I'm a bit worried about doing slashing damage on this thing.
Right.
But surely I can hit it with the flat of the flame tongue sword and then still do the plus 2d8 fire damage on it. That would be my...
Yeah. I can't see. I mean, you're using the sword in a way that it's not meant to be used, right?
Yeah.
As in,
But surely the...
I would rule that attacking with the sword at the flat of the blade, I'm afraid, means that you'll be attacking at disadvantage. That would be cancelled by the advantage from the fairy fire, and so you'd just be making normal attacks. Once we've done all of that, you can
I'll take
still
that.
be doing your flame tongue damage. Right, there we go.
Second ruling.
Oh, no.
Do I
It's a
think
double
that
part.
with the unarmed strike,
Yeah.
right? Because now I'm going to
Yeah.
actually have to move up and hit it. I haven't got any more fangs of the fire snake.
Mhm.
Because my unarmed strikes
Dear.
count as magical, do I feel that I'm going to take acid damage if I hit it with my hands or feet?
Do you feel like,
What's my...
I mean,
can I
it's
make
the-
an intelligence check or...
an emotional intelligence check is what it sounds like you're fumbling towards. This evening has been very ruling-y. I'm reading the rules about...
Oh,
I'm
go
reading
away.
the rules about what applies here. You could get George Perrett's QC to interpret this paragraph, and I don't know that he would be able to make sense of it. Okay, so you feel like you're going to damage yourself if you thump it. There you go.
Okay.
I managed to find the appropriate bit of, the relevant bit.
Well,
of
I will
language.
just restrict myself to the 2 flame tongue attacks then. 11...
Is a hit, amazingly, because this thing's got an absolute pony armor class.
6 bludgeoning and 8 fire. Armor class 10.
10 is a miss. 10 is a miss. 10 is a
Okay,
miss.
then that's me. done.
Hurrah!
So it takes 14 points of damage.
Sandy, it's you.
Okay.
Still not dead.
No, it looks like it's, I mean, it's
revivifying.
not so much revivifying as not deifying.
Okay.
Well, don't do too much damage, it'll just bugger off. We need to grab the key. The key.
talk again, Johnny, when you were asleep there.
Yeah.
We were just been talking about the ooze. Yeah.
Oh, beg your pardon. But Paul's about to attack
That's fine.
it. That's the point.
Yes, Paul's back.
That's what I
Paul
meant.
never does any damage.
Alessandra's about to attack the ooze.
D.
Mm-hmm.
So she's
Going for the ooze.
She's
okay.
Move around the corner. She's doing a longbow attack at advantage.
Yes.
Hitting on plus 23.
Is a hit. I mean,
Don't need to do anything else there. Ooh, 13 plus sneak attack damage.
Huge amounts of damage.
18, so 31 points of damage in total.
Well, Parker and Alessandra, you don't know that this thing has got much left in it, to be honest. It's rather difficult to tell, but you think it's, that was another significant thump. You think it's weakening. Put it that way.
Excellent.
Let's find out how much.
I will move back around the corner.
Let's find out how much it's weakening. When it attacks Parker, hopelessly, because it's completely useless, this thing. Rolling a 5, hitting armor class 12, not enough. And another pseudopod rolling a 7, hitting armor class 5. No, it bounced off the 17. 14, not enough. Over here, this thing rears up. It's going to attack 1 to 3 Uncle Buggy, 4 to 6. Burpledy herpedy hoopedish. Rolling a d6, getting a 5. It rears up and it's reaching to strike you, Burple. Burple. A very strange sensation flashes through your mind at this point. You feel like, if you wanted to, you could not be here all of a sudden. You don't know quite what that means, but you've got the feeling that just now, just for an instant, you got the opportunity to, as it were, jump, zap, zip, step through, whatever, away from this thing, and it wouldn't be able to hit you. It's like your mind is posing you the option, but your conscious mind can make the decision as to whether or not to exercise the option. What would you like to do?
I'll do whatever that is then, please. is my answer.
What, so Burple gives in to the impulse to just not be there?
Yeah.
Burple vanishes as this thing turns to him,
Is it like
leaving a sort of
hand
weird
kind of
skein of kind of vapor or mist or something behind him,
misty step?
and appears just a few feet down the corridor.
Right.
You've used your reaction, Burple, in doing so, by the way.
Right.
You also feel like you've now got a sense of what that impulse is.
Yeah.
We'll talk about it later, but you feel that that's something you now understand a little better.
What, meaning I can keep doing it?
Well, you're not sure about under what circumstances or quite how you would. You feel that there's a journey to be made in order to fully understand it. But yes, you feel that you will be able to do it again in the future.
Oh, it's a magic
You might
thing
feel that you would
with your
be able
sword.
to do
ability.
it. That was an instinctive reaction under a moment of stress when you were threatened, but you feel that maybe if you understood it a bit, but let's not get
The
into
sword
it
of
too much.
Zosiel's giving you extra powers.
You think?
Something's
Yeah.
something's
Well, no, I'm
going
not
on.
No
sure,
fair,
because
no fair.
No, because I lost the ability. Do you remember my the Healy thing was kind of
It was
less-
all in the
was
cupboard with your
weakened.
backstory, is what I've been saying, and now I've had to clear the stuff out. So you had plenty of
okay,
opportunity
so-
to look through that stuff, and you never looked through the stuff, and now I've had to throw it away and
What?
take it to the charity shop. There we go.
what?
Right.
What am I missing?
Oh.
What was there an actual thing I should have looked at?
You vanish, and this thing is going to make a dexterity save to see whether or not it can reframe its attack onto Buggy.
Oh,
But
could-
I think if it fails its dexterity save, it's rather committed to shaping itself to attack Burple, and then Burple vanishes and it loses its
Mike?
attack. That's yes.
It's starting its round in the Spirit Guardians. Does it not need to make a saving throw before it does that?
You always it's just like sessions with the clip. Yeah, never get to enjoy myself. Just have the round. You could have waited until the end, or you could have done
Do
it
you
at the
have
beginning.
permission
Excuse me,
to
I'm
be
sorry.
here?
And I hate to interrupt you mid-flow.
But I think you'll need a permit.
Okay, yes, I'll make the save. So fine, yes, blah blah blah. No, it doesn't make the save. How much damage is it?
Goody, goody, goody.
11 million T.
11 points of damage.
Right, with that little bit of bureaucracy covered, it rolls a 16 and does get to attack Buggy. First attack with the bite hits armor class 18, not enough.
No.
Second attack, it hits armor class 25 and armor class 19. Is that enough?
Yes.
Johnny, why don't you just zap yourself away somewhere?
11 and 7,
I
Or can
can't.
you not do
Johnny.
I
So
can't do that,
5 and 3.
Have you halved it for me?
Yes, 5 and 3. I've halved
Thanks,
it
because
for
I
you.
can't actually do the maths myself. I'm dim.
I know.
Alright.
Bottom of the round. On for
He's a
Uncle Buggy.
Right, I'm going to try and jump up and grab this bloody key.
Oh, excellent. Having another go.
Yes.
Okay, I have the number in my mind.
I'm at advantage.
Yes, but
So
you've
I've
used
got
your
my-
roll dice now.
Yep.
Yep.
So the first roll is a
Oh,
70.
you succeed. You succeed. You slip your elderly but practiced fingers into the gap. You tug, and the silver chain snaps, and you come away with the little silver key in your hand. I mean, don't all cheer at once.
Hooray!
Yeah, but it's Buggy, so it's a little grudging. You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly. Nobody
Thanks.
can just unironically just enjoy each
Finally,
other's
he's done
successes. It's all
something
God, I suppose we'll never hear the last of this now. I've got the key.
Was that a single action? Can I now attack with my...
Don't take the piss.
I suppose that was a full round action, wasn't it?
Good try, though.
This thing goes, oh no, my key, it says.
Right, that's my go. Fast
Doesn't seem
and
too worried about it.
Excellent.
Seems quite happy.
Yeah, well, I can't do an unhappy spider. It's not in my repertoire. Buggy, you have the key.
You have the secret.
You've got the key to another place. And Buggy, as you grab the key, you feel
Go up a level.
the benevolence of Ort shine upon you. You receive a new once-only Ort dice. Ort. So you have your regular Ort dice you can use once a session, and you have your new once-only Ort dice. Top of the next round, sessions on 16.
Oh, right. Okay.
Weren't expecting that.
No. Well, first thing, I'll whack it with the crushing coin.
Yeah, got it. Thwack.
Whack away. Hang on, let me...
Yeah, thwack away, thwack away.
Thwack away.
Thwack away.
Wick, whack away, wick, whack away, wick, whack away.
Rolling an 11 on the dice for a 19, armor class 19.
19 is insufficient.
It's got armor class
It goes.
20. I will then cast Toll the Dead on it, or Tumbling Dice.
Oh, a 19 though on the blue dice of power.
Okay, and then I will retreat to between
Where will you retreat to?
Purple and Alessandra,
Covering all angles.
covering Buggy in the Spirit Guardians and also protecting the door from the blob.
The spider is now out of the Spirit Guardians, right?
Yeah.
On 13, it is Bapperty, Happerty, Hopperty.
Can I have a Wisdom save DC 15 from the blob, please?
The blob. Oh god, I don't think it's got a wisdom save. But no.
Okay,
It's a
so
simple
it
answer to that
takes
question.
5d6 psychic damage.
Oh.
That's quite good. 15, 20.
I mean, I know it's been a slow grind,
Yeah.
but it's looking pretty unwell. I mean, I don't know how you could tell. I don't know how you could tell whether or not it looks unwell. I mean, it started off looking like something that had fallen off Paul, right?
Oh, thank you very much.
And it's not improved since.
What does that mean?
Maybe it's starting to look like, you know, when the tuna mayo has been in that little metal dish in the sandwich bar just long enough so that you pick the chicken mayo instead.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Would-
it's starting
would
to
I
look a bit
still
like
eat
that,
it?
perhaps. I think if they didn't have anything, if the cheese had those slightly hard corners,
Yeah.
You do live in a bin.
and you were forced to go for the tuna, you'd hope that they would sort of zhuzh it a bit. But I don't know. Once it's got that little crust,
But if
ooh,
if
God.
this were Waitrose,
This has gone off on a tangent that I wasn't expecting.
This is skin, not a
What's
cross.
the
though,
sell
isn't
by
it,
date?
really?
I'm trying to work out if it's dead or if it's still alive, Mike.
Oh, it's still alive. It's still moving. It's wobbling about, going.
Okay.
But it's just not looking very well. It looks like you've hastened its journey to the world of the once was a blob, no longer a blob world.
Well, it has to move away from me as well.
Oh, does it? Does it? Hold up, because
it have a reaction?
Well, it may have a reaction, but I don't know if it's actually got anything. Is it scared? What's the deal?
I don't think it's...
It's not scared. It's not a fear
I
effect.
don't think it is a
Is it?
fear effect. It says, on a failed save, it takes the damage and must immediately use its reaction if available to move as far as its speed allows away from you.
Okay, it moves away from you. Yeah, I think it would. As fast as it can. It backs away 5 feet and then it climbs up level with the gallery and the far side of the chamber from you. That's the best it can. Oh, actually, maybe it would head out through the door and out into the corridor. That's its most effective way of getting as far away from you as possible. Shall I roll? What do you think? It's got an intelligence of 3.
Oh no, it's just going to head straight.
So it either goes straight
it'll
away and
just
tries to
back
climb up the
Yeah,
wall.
it'll back up to the wall and probably just sit there.
Okay.
It's not clever enough to go unless it has.
I
It
think
has it
it's-
taken its time to visit the crossroads and explore those other areas? Does it even know they exist?
I don't think it would know that whether it had or not, would it? I'm slightly concerned because there would be a chance, albeit a slim chance, that it might be affected by that Crown of Madness effect if it went into the corridor, and the bookkeeping for that and just the general rules
Well, I
around
wanna
that,
see
I
that.
really just cannot face. Well, maybe
It's also got the firewall, which it may not recognise, and it might go into that firewall.
it's too much fun for it going the other way for us to not give it a chance. I'm going to roll a d6.
Yeah.
1 to 3, it just pegs up the wall directly away from you. 4 to 6, it heads out through the door into the crossroads, and we'll see how it does.
Okay.
D6 getting a 6.
Oh,
Off
there we
it goes. It moves through the door, and then it limps 1 square in. What alignment is it? You may want to talk to me in the broom cupboard about its alignment. Okay, it's unaligned. It makes a saving throw, DC 18 Wisdom save, which it fails. Let me just check the spell.
How?
Surely not.
Where would the crown go? It has no head.
Well, that's what I'm wondering. It may be able to extrude a kind of top pod
Yeah.
bolts
Yeah.
thing.
What's it going to attack?
Oh, bollocks. It doesn't work. It's only on humanoids. Okay, it doesn't get affected by that. It just heads out the door.
How far
I
does
think
it
that's
move?
enough for purple. That's it.
Okay.
On 11, Packer.
I think I will just basically move up and engage it.
Oh, God, because you can run down.
Move up to it and attack it. Armor class 12. I'm assuming that's a miss.
Is a hit, and that is the end. Well, roll your damage. How much damage do you do?
10 points of damage.
No. It's that's it. It goes and just becomes an inert pool of goop. Want to do anything else, Parker?
I'm okay.
You can't really do anything else, can you? Sandy, baby, it's time for your turn.
Michael,
Yes.
we've discussed this name in the past, and you continue to do it.
Mm-hmm.
What's the... I want to stow my longbow and take out my rapier, and what's the action economy for that one?
I think is it free to draw a weapon? Somebody must know, Graham. Anybody remember?
It's interact with an object, drawing
Yeah.
a weapon. If you're putting
Right, okay,
something
so
away, then you have to...
Yeah, then
use
you
an
can't.
also an
action.
interact with an object. Yep.
Yeah, so you can drop the longbow and then freely draw either the rapier or the crossbow.
Even if I spend the entire round and do nothing else?
No, if you use your action, then you're golden, right?
Okay, because I would like to do that. Does it leave me with anything? Any opportunity? I could do a dash. I can do a dash, hide, or
You can
disengage.
move. You can't.
Yeah, you can move, yeah.
Interact is to put your sword away. Your action is
Your
to
action.
take out the bow, and now you can move. But you
Other way
can't-
around, but yeah.
Yeah, but I'm taking out a crossbow and a rapier.
No, you can't do both.
Okay.
But what you can do is, of course, freely take out the other one when your turn rolls around next time.
Okay, well, that's what I'll do.
So effectively, you're fine.
Yeah, so that's what
Okay.
I'll do.
It's it on 6. It's no longer in the Spirit Guardians, so it doesn't need to make a save. This is a difficult one. I've got 3 courses of action. I'm not going to tell you what they are. 1 or 2 is course of action A. Actually,
Yeah.
It's really only got 2 courses of action.
Run away
1
or
to
fight.
3 is course of action A. 4 to 6 is course of action B. Here we go. Rolling a d6, getting a 1. Course of action A. Okay, it attacks Buggie. The first attack on Buggie with the bite. Rolling a 2, not getting enough. And then 2 attacks with the prongs. The first.
Yeah.
Second
prongy.
prong. Ooh, that's more like it. Armor class 22.
Hit.
You take a grand total of 12 points, so 6 points of damage.
Yes.
And I think that's it for it. It's your turn.
Right. Well, I'm only asking this question because there was slight confusion with the dragon. But are we actually intending to fight this Spidey, or are we just going to ignore it?
Good question.
I intend to fight it.
We don't want to just bypass it and stick the key in the thing.
Well,
Fight
that's
it.
behind it, which means we've got to go through it.
But I can go through it.
Yeah, but then you'll be on your own because the rest of us can't.
It's just that last time we fought it, it was quite nasty.
It
we
is
fought
quite
it in its
nasty.
lair last time we fought it.
Yeah.
I really think it's got extra
Yeah,
lair
it
actions.
got legendary
Could do.
defences in its lair.
Right.
I
Okay.
don't think it
all
does
right.
out here.
Hasn't
And the
seemed
other
to use any-
things,
Oh, unless
it's
that's what
gonna run
Mike's
away.
rolling randomly.
yeah, it's going to run away. If it gets below a certain number of hit points, it will scuttle away,
Runs away.
I reckon.
Friend Guy Storyteller.
hmm
There seem to be 2 things, 2 facets. One is it seems to have some kind of resistance to magic. That doesn't seem to be dependent upon whether or not it's in this world or in the shadow world.
hmm
But it also seems to have other stuff that it was doing in its lair in the shadow world that it doesn't seem to be doing here. It may not be that it's as simple as there's a whole load of stuff, it it's a bit more.
It's more complicated than
nuanced.
that. Nuanced.
It's much more
Is there a
complicated
way
than
of
that.
sort
Paul.
of, have we got
worse
maybe
than
a
that is
kind of
dead, Jim.
dimensional anchor thing? I think of ourselves.
Doesn't exist.
You do.
Or at least we couldn't find it last week.
Oh, right. Okay.
No.
I'm going to bash it then. I'm raging. First one.
Okay. Make sure you don't drop that key.
9. Sorry, can I
9.
just get a few bad dice rolls out and ignore these?
No.
You've just rolled a natural 20
Okay,
and 17.
Fine. Okay.
All right,
Right.
okay,
Added up
here
that
we
natural
go.
19. Right. You've actually done the best
Right,
rolling
this
you've
is the
done
real
so
So your
roll
bad
now.
dice rolls were a 20.
a 19 and a 17,
Ah,
and now you've rolled an
and
8.
yeah, you rolled an
Is that a hit?
Okay. No. I don't know what I can't. I've just.
I can't. Yeah.
It's extraordinary. Have you got another attack?
No.
That's it. You get one attack a turn.
No, I missed the first time, didn't I?
Before he
Oh, I see. I
re-rolled,
thought
yes.
I thought you were asking us to ignore that. Fine. Okay. Miss.
Oh, shit.
Great.
Yeah,
Too late.
I meant ignore it.
Sessions
That's
on
right.
16.
No.
Is it sessions on 16 again? Okay, so
Every
round
is
on
usually
16, it's amazing.
I
Okay,
know.
so in with the crushing coin, bugger 26
That is a hit.
for 9 points of damage.
Anything else?
Yes.
I mean, it's still there.
Yeah, of course. I will
He goes,
step 5 foot closer to put it within the Spirit Guardians for the start of its next go,
Yes.
and I will
Yes,
drop
Yes.
tumbling dice on it again. Wisdom saving throw DC 16.
Ooh, 16.
Yeah.
We'd failed that save.
Okay, so it takes 11 more points of damage.
Oh dear. Okay. Burbledy herbledy who?
Does Purple have any more fairy fires? Just putting it out there.
Yeah. Do you want one?
Well, it makes life. If this thing's got quite a high armor class, it's got a 21, I think. So,
Oh, you finding it difficult? Okay.
well, you know,
Oh dear.
Plus 8.
Oh. All right.
So,
I'll do
I
a
need to roll
first
above
level
average.
fairy fire on it. Can I have a dexterity save DC 15, please?
it'll
Okay.
obviously make it. Blue
Well, you
dice.
never know. It doesn't make that save.
Very fine.
Thank
It
you very
chooses
much.
to make that save.
Oh, you're shitting me.
It can do that on the prime material plane or whatever plane we're on.
Seems to be a mixture of things that it does. Some of them it only seem to do in the shadow world. Some of them. Is that it for you, Burple?
Yeah.
Lol.
What do you mean, lol?
Lol. It's
What do you mean, lol?
It's a child.
No, exactly
It's a
what do
child
you mean by
phrase.
lol?
It means lying on,
The Lilo.
Lying on light cheese, leaving out lavender.
licking old
legs.
light bulbs.
Lots of legs. Spider, see?
Lucas would have been able to tell us that, of
Or
course.
loads of legs.
Just let
Yeah,
him.
well, it's a technical term, so
Yeah.
Lucas would know it. Well, I say Lucas, I mean Eusebio.
Oh dear.
Alessandra.
Super.
Thank you, Mike. Alessandra's going to move up 10 foot up to it, drawing
clipped formality.
the additional weapon. Armor class 11,
Is a miss with the crossbow.
and then I'm going to do a rapier. Armor class 10, you
See
see,
Daisy. Oh dear.
and then
Amateurs.
then
Going down with
Alessandra's
amateurs.
going to move backwards and around the corner.
Okay, and because of your magic boots or some clever thing,
yeah,
you're not.
yes, no
fine.
attacks of opportunity.
Right. It's course of action time again for the spot. First of all, it will make it save, Graham, before you jump in. Captain Clipboard. Makes it save. How much damage does it take when it makes
half
it
damage.
save?
Hang on. Takes half of that.
That.
What's
5.
2 points.
So half of 5, 2.
Suddenly everything seems to have slowed down a bit. Now it must make a dice roll, course of action dice roll. It was 1 to 3, 4 to 6 last time. It's now 1 to 2, 3 and up.
Oh, 3 and up must be leaving to the shadow world, I reckon.
Rolling a d6 on
Yep.
a 1 or a 2, it's a 1. He stays. Now, he's just going to have to try and poison you. So what it will do is the first attack with its bite on you, Uncle Buggy. Rolling.
Natural 1
You want to gamble? You want to gamble?
at last.
No,
End
I
of
don't think
round.
it would gamble. It wouldn't gamble, and that ends its turn. It goes, okay, Uncle Buggy, it's your turn.
Okay, so first attack. Second attack. 18?
Is a miss. On we go. Unless you're moving.
No.
To Sessions on 16.
Well, I'm going to whack it again with the crushing coin.
This is all. this is
Hitting
becoming a
armor
bit
class
of a session, isn't
27.
it? Hit.
8 points of damage.
It's looking pretty wobbly.
Then I will toll the dead on
It
it
goes-
again. Tell the dead on it again here. We've told the dying.
Yes, makes it.
And I will stay where I am.
Okay, bubbly hibbly hubbly ha.
Hobbly hobbly hoo. Another dissonant whispers. DC 15 wisdom save, please. Second level this time.
It fails that save.
Right.
Aha.
Well, in which case, it's going to take an
Important.
enormous amount of damage. 13.
13 points of the damage. It lives.
But it has to
Does it have to
use
run
its
away?
reaction to move away.
Okay, Buggy, you get an attack of opportunity.
Here we go. 23.
Hitting.
Oh, finally.
How much damage? This is important.
19.
19.
5 of which is fire.
Points of damage. It starts to spin that dark funnel of shadow strands behind it, and it starts to pull itself away. As it does so, Buggy swings at it with the moderately all-right sword of flame and spears it through its giant, bulbous abdo point. And it just goes
Thank you. Thank you.
and thumps to the floor with
Thank
all its
you.
legs spread out.
Thanks, guys. Thanks, guys.
Are you clapping yourself?
He is. It sounds like he is.
Sound of one hand clapping going on there.
We'll add clapping in later.
Another one bites the dust under Buggy's
It-
hand.
Crumbles.
When was the last time you killed something?
Always killing everything.
Really?
Well done, well done.
Thank you very much. That's marvellous.
Thank you very much.
I thought that
Very,
was going to get.
very-
That was the last.
Could have done with a bit of support.
It had 17 hit
Yes.
points left, so you just got it. If you'd done just a little bit less damage, it would have been off and back to the shadow realm.
It can
But you
do.
got
It can do its thing in its round in a reaction.
Yes, it's part of its movement. It's got a movement speed, which includes the ability to dimensionally squibble.
It's really annoying.
Technical. So we've managed to lay waste to a black pudding and a big spider and get the key. Let's
And get the key, yes.
Move
now,
on.
what do you want to do? How do things look? How are you getting on?
Well, I think
How do
there's-
things stand?
I think the thing that we need to remember is we're moving from a hot area to a cold area, aren't we? You kind of talk about heat quite a lot at the moment.
Do I?
Yeah, because we've got. You have to remove that.
I would actually like
certainly-
to. I'd like to raise a. Oh no, I'll raise it later.
raise a glass.
No, I'll raise it later. It's fine.
Point of order?
Yeah, point of order, but later.
Is it
Let's go and do the key
the 4 elements? So you've got air at the top, fire,
because we've had
earth, maybe. is the black pudding,
we've had windiness.
Why don't we
water
take a
is-
long rest and try and attune
Well-
to the sphere?
First of all, it has occurred to me that you've taken. I was looking at my notes. You've taken 2 long rests in this last 24-hour period because I just didn't realise the last time you did.
Weren't paying attention.
I wasn't paying attention. I think that means that it is now about 7 or 8 in the evening of weekday, the 3rd of Fart. You need to wait until midnight before I will grudgingly allow you to take another long rest.
If only you'd been
So
paying
you've got about
attention.
5 hours. Well, the problem was it was in different weeks, and I just, Anyway, we started your battle with Ilthane at 2 in the morning.
Yes.
And that's why we've had a long 24-hour period, so it just seems like... Anyway, it doesn't matter. I'm sure the readers also
Made that
feel that it
connection.
seems like it's like a week long.
I think they feel let down.
So, anyway, what do you want to do? What do you want to do?
I think we should go and get Hesti Testapod.
Hesti Testapod.
Hesti Testapod.
Hesti Testapod.
We've got
Okay.
the key. That's the objective of what we're kind of down here for. I mean, we could open up some more doors if you want to, but everybody happy with that?
How's everyone do for hit points?
2/3.
Hit points, I'm good.
Quick short rest.
Have we done a short rest in
Okay.
this long rest
You
period?
have, yes. Some of you have used
Yeah.
all of your hit dice so far today in short rest hit dice allocations. Specifically, I think Parker has. Buggy, I think, had taken 7 or 8. Parker took, I think, everything.
I took 3 hit dice out of 10.
You can hear the roar of the furnace back the way you came. Everything else is quiet. The gallery is quiet. The ramp is quiet.
Let's go and do the.
Excellent.
Okay.
Back down.
Okay, so you're taking a short rest, and then you're going to go down the slope, into the other chamber, up the steps on the other side, through the chamber with the carpet and the statue and the golden light shining down on it,
Mm-hmm.
into the chamber with the lightning. Your concentration wall of force spell,
It's gone.
has it?
Yeah. That's gone. Yeah.
So I'm not going to.
Right, so there's lightning zapping from this spike that protrudes from a block of stone in the center of the ceiling down into this lightning globe. Hesti hangs inert in the center of it, holding his staff, you think, and this odd stone object that you've seen referenced elsewhere in the complex. And Asandra, give me a perception check.
Yeah, I'll give you a perception check. Perception of 17.
Okay,
Not-
I mean,
not
you
great.
think that Hesti... No, it's just that Hesti doesn't look great. That's all I'll say.
Okay.
He's frozen not in the cryogenic sense,
Just not moving.
but in the time stop sense.
Mm-hmm.
He looks a bit scorched and a bit damaged.
Okay.
Bothered. Should have waited for us, shouldn't he?
Anybody following you? You're doing this by yourself?
No.
I'm
Okay.
going to take a crossbow bolt, and I'm just going to underarm throw it into the room. See if anything happens.
You're going to take a crossbow bolt, you're going to underarm throw
It's
it into the
metal.
room. No, it's whether or not it's living or unliving things. I'm just going to do a quick check.
It's not living, Mike. It's metal. Just saying.
You just deliberately have to chipping away at my confidence, undermining me.
Yes.
Jesus.
It's basically
Well,
right.
that's Dan,
Right.
you see. Dan's just annoying.
It's a fair cop.
Nothing happens when you throw the crossbow bolt into the room.
Okay. I'm not going into
Well, I mean, apart from the fact that it kind of goes ding, ding, ding onto the floor. Remember, the floor is concave, convex. It dips in the middle anyway.
It's that bit
I
at the
throw
start
Buggie
of
into the room.
Terminator with the spheres that burn through the floor with a little dip. I'll shut up now.
Thanks.
I think that's probably best.
Oh,
Could
it's
we
like
have-
pulling teeth?
We have Mage Hand to take the key.
You're so okay. I will put the key in the lock with the mage hand.
Okay.
you.
Well, and what are you going to do?
Turn it.
the key. Before you do that,
Okay,
on a minute.
it,
Let's just step back a bit.
Well, Burple, you've got to be able to see where this hand is operating, right? So you've got to be close enough to be looking through the door.
Yep. I'm as far away as I can actually get and still do it.
Well, that's
30
right next
feet.
to the door because
30 foot
the
range.
mechanism is just inside the door. It's like a light switch.
Yeah, but I can
on the
put the
left-hand
key.
side
I
of
can
the
put
door.
the key in and then move back and then turn the key without seeing the key.
Can you operate a mage hand when you can't see it?
Yeah, I'm sure you can. Don't need to look at mage hand. That's fine.
Here we go. Point you choose within range. You can choose to use your action. You can use a hand to manipulate.
Doesn't say, does it?
It doesn't say, which means you can.
Yeah, easy.
So you insert the key.
Yep.
And you step away and you instruct the hand to turn the key. You hear a click.
And nothing.
Nothing happens in the room. I mean, nothing new happens in the room.
Okay.
The lightning is still going.
Okay, Alessandro, over to you.
I throw Bugger into the room.
You're the scouty person.
You can't remember the thing with the key and the mechanism, can you?
What?
Okay, doesn't matter.
The thing with the key and the mechanisms, I remember that last time when we did it, I picked the lock. It appeared to be a brilliant picking of the lock, but it didn't affect anything
Where's the keyhole?
In the room.
in the room.
In the wall.
Over here.
Okay, so the keyhole is in a dial, a large dial marked with the arrow of law.
Right.
The keyhole itself is inset into the design of the arrow of law within this giant sort of turny dial thing. You've definitely turned the key until it's clicked in the keyhole.
Can you get the mage
So-
hand to now turn the dial?
Can I get the mage hand to now turn the dial, Mike?
When it hits 180, as in when the arrow is pointing down rather than up, the lightning crackle from the ceiling abruptly stops, the globe disappears, and the form of Hesti Testapod falls onto the floor in front of you. Who's standing in the doorway? Alessandra,
Yes.
Buggy, Parker, you can see this. He's lying there. He doesn't move. He's inert.
I'm going to gingerly step into the room.
Is he held? Does it look like he's held or something?
He looks very unwell. Alessandra, even as you step in, he seems to visibly weaken. It looks like you've got a problem here because he looks like he's on his way out.
Sessions.
How long have you got? I'll tell you what, I'll tell you how long you've got when we pick things up again. Next
Really?
time. Well,
Why do you always do this?
The Billowing Hilltop podcast is a Billowing Hilltop production. Dungeons & Dragons is a trademark of Wizards of the Coast. A Gathering of Winds and Age of Worms are copyright Paizo. A Gathering of Winds was written by Wolfgang Bauer. Music is from Kevin MacLeod and Incompetech.com and is used with thanks under the Creative Commons license. Additional music and sound effects come from the wonderful Sirenscape. All other original material is copyright Billowing Hilltop. Role-playing games are all about getting people together, and we use Roll20 as our tabletop, the perfect place to host your game, and Discord to host our chat. Thanks for listening.